Out of all the EU member states, almost half are led by EPP members. These prime ministers and opposition leaders are meeting today in Brussels for the EPP Summit, which takes place just hours before the top-level European Council. They are due to discuss the question of climate change, the ratification of the Lisbon Treaty and the situation in Kosovo.
Nous discutons entre nous des différents sujets, notamment de la mise en application de l'agenda de Lisbonne. Nous vérifierons entre nous si nous sommes tous d'accord sur la démarche à suivre en matière de changement climatique. Probablement nous parlerons un peu de la situation sur les marchés financiers. Et donc ce sera une réunion comme toujours amicale, par endroits controversée mais conclusif.
Well, there is a series of major topics, but I would say that the biggest priority of all is the discussion on climate change. And I mention that because it is very important for EPP, climate change has become a very, very high priority, top-level priority. And I think that we should send and keep sending a very strong message to all European citizens.
Der Rat diesmal wird sich beschäftigen mit der zukünftigen Zusammenarbeit im Mittelmeerraum. Wir wollen den Barcelona-Prozess weiterentwickeln, aber so, dass alle Mitgliedstaaten der Europäischen Union in der Mittelmeerunion mitmachen können. Und zweitens wird das Thema Klimaschutz eine Rolle spielen. Wir werden die einzelnen Maßnahmen diskutieren und ich glaube, es wird ein sehr erfolgreicher Rat unter der slowenischen Präsidentschaft.
One of the other things that is also being discussed here in this meeting room is Croatia's accession to the EU. Ivo Sanader is the Prime Minister of Croatia and he seemed very happy with the progress that was being made.
You've heard what the President of the Commission announced. He announced that if Croatia does its work, its homework, so to say, which means the needed reforms and quality negotiations, that the closing of negotiations could be before the end of the term of this Commission, which means from now in next 1.5 years. This is very, very nice, but it is up to us to finish all needed work, to finish and to fulfill all criteria. So I'm very confident that we could do the job.
Of course, 1 year from now, everybody will be talking about the European elections. But here today, already preparations were being made. Luc van der Putte, EPP Deputy Secretary General, is the coordinator for the campaign.
Well, during the upcoming European election campaign, EPP will be more like a service provider to the member parties. We will not be the campaigner because there are some elements that we have to take into account.
And what about Dialogue TV?
Well, Dialogue TV will be, let's say, the spearhead in our service providing to the member parties. Dialogue TV is a sort of platform in which we will communicate around the themes that we chose for the next European campaign. Themes about climate change, demographic challenge, immigration, the role of Europe in the world, a safer Europe. We are creating a platform, an audiovisual platform in which we can communicate with our member parties and later on with our voters.
Climate change and the Western Balkans are clearly on the radar screen for the European People's Party. The ratification of the Lisbon Treaty will become increasingly important, especially with the Irish referendum coming up in June. That is why the next EPP meeting will take place on the 14th of April in Dublin. We look forward to seeing you there.